Hi everyone, it's Donna Beck. I'm here for Porch Sitting with Samantha. And I'm so thankful to Samantha for allowing me to appear on her Porch Sitting platform every week. And I wanted to thank her especially for that. So tonight I wanted to talk about how we're all in the same storm, but we're not in the same boat. And when I say that, I mean that we're all experiencing COVID-19 and we're all having different experiences because we're not in the same boat. For instance, you and I don't necessarily have the same background as anyone else in the world, and so our view of this is slightly different than other people's view. You might be very resilient and you might be thinking, oh, this is going to be fine. But your neighbor, on the other hand, is very nervous because, unbeknownst to you, they might have a health condition that you're not aware of. And so they know that that health condition makes them more vulnerable to this disease. So I really wanted to talk about that because we need all our diversity, all of the human diversity that we have in our community to make it through this together and to be on the other side of it and for things to be well. We're very blessed in that we have not had many cases here in our counties. However, that does not mean that the people around you haven't experienced loss due to this pandemic. Maybe they have relatives in other places who have experienced the disease or who have succumbed to the disease. And so us being aware that our experience is not the only experience is very important in times like these. I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the fact that some of us may be experiencing things that are more difficult, like returning to using alcohol or other substances to make ourselves feel better. Or maybe we're having disrupted sleep patterns. Maybe we're just irritable. Maybe we're tearful. Maybe we're having a really hard time. And when we're having a really hard time, it can help. Just talk to somebody. Talk to your best friend. Talk to somebody who lives in your home. Reach out beyond your home and talk to, someone that you trust, maybe a minister or a therapist. Maybe you've seen a therapist before and you need to reconnect with them. This is a difficult time for lots of people. And when we're able to acknowledge the emotions that we're having and talk honestly about what our experience is like, people can help us. And that's a good thing. Excuse my dog barking in the background. She's part of my work crew. Some people are worried about their finances and about getting back to work. And, that's hard, right? It may not be your particular worry, but it's somebody's worry. There can also be worsening of chronic health problems during this time, and people don't want to get out of their house to go to the doctor. So, important to keep those things in mind. We are all in the same storm, but we are not all in the same boat. So, ways to cope with stress. We talked a little bit about that before. Take breaks, especially from watching the news. The news is going to focus on the scary parts. Sometimes they focus on human interest stories that have a good outcome, and that's a good thing. However, if you are triggered by what they're talking about on the news all the time, it would be good to take a break. I also wanted to talk about what our children are hearing during this time, because sometimes our children are hearing the news, seeing the riots that are going on in other cities, seeing body bags and ambulances, can be terrifying for young children. And we need to protect them from that. It's really important to be very open when your children want to talk with you about their experience of this epidemic. Sometimes a 5-year-old might say, "Mama, am I going to catch that? People are dying." And so you only want to respond with just enough information. No, I don't think you're going to catch that. We don't have many of those cases in our community. Would be enough for a 5-year-old. Teenagers might want to go deeper than that. They might see how unfair it is that people are dying from this. And they might just be sad of all that they've lost and are missing out on during this time, like prom and graduation and all of those things that are so important to our young people. Particularly pay attention if there's substance use in our young people. Might want to reach out to a health professional to talk with them about what to do if, they're having trouble with a substance. So, and ways to support those older children is also just to talk with them, to let them express those feelings to you, to allow them to be heartbroken over missing prom or missing graduation. It's a once in a lifetime sort of thing. And, it's very, very important to them. And so it's okay for them to be sad about it. Maybe we'll have another celebration for them. Maybe there'll be parades for graduation. That would be a very good way to honor our young people on the day. And I don't even know if maybe they will have a graduation. Maybe they will. But I'm sure they're thinking maybe they won't. So good to let them talk about it. In closing tonight, I wanted to say, take a break from the news. Get out, go for a walk. Try to maintain a good schedule like we talked about in the past. Breathe. Take some deep breaths. Breathe in the good, clean, fresh air and breathe out all the stress. Thanks for listening. I'm Dr. Donna, Porch Sitting with Samantha.